Selling your home these days, it's all about winning that online battle first. So, how do you get your property ready for a launch that doesn't just get views, but actually stops people in their tracks? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down the exact steps to make your listing the one they can't ignore. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Just think about it. Potential buyers are flying through hundreds of listings, just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Your home has a split second, literally, to make them pause. So what is it that makes someone stop and go, whoa, hang on, I need to see more of this one?
Long before anyone even thinks about stepping through your front door, they've already formed an opinion. That all-important first impression, it happens right here, on a phone or a laptop screen. They're making snap judgments based on your photos, your videos, everything. And that's why having a polished, media-rich presentation isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it's absolutely essential.
So let's talk about this new first impression. This is about so much more than just making your house look pretty. It's a real strategy. It's designed to do two very specific things: get you a higher sale price and seriously cut down the time your home spends on the market.
Okay, so the official term for this whole strategy is a media-rich launch. It really just means you're creating a complete package. We're talking about high-quality, professional photos that really pop, a video walkthrough that tells a story, floor plans so people can see the layout, and a virtual tour that puts the buyer in the driver's seat. All these things together, they don't just grab attention, they start building trust from the very first click.
Right. Before a single photo gets taken, the real work actually begins inside the home. This part is all about that foundational prep work, the staging and the decluttering that makes all that great media even possible.
I absolutely love this idea. You're not trying to create some kind of sterile, untouchable museum where no one can sit down. The real goal is to create a feeling. You want a potential buyer to look at those photos and have an emotional connection, to actually start picturing their own life happening in those rooms. It's all about creating a warm, welcoming, dependable vibe.
And you know what? You don't need a huge budget for this. It's the simple things that make a massive difference. Fresh, clean linens on the beds, a neutral color palette that just makes everything feel calm and bigger, arranging the furniture so there's a really easy, balanced flow, and of course, adding some warm, cozy lighting to make every single space feel inviting.
Now let's talk about decluttering. But let's frame it not as a chore, but as an investment. Because a cluttered space, it's actively working against you. It distracts buyers, makes rooms feel smaller, and hides cool features. But once you clear it out, that exact same space suddenly feels larger, brighter, and the home's best assets can finally shine through. Seriously, every box of stuff you pack away could literally add to your bottom line.
So, how do you do it? Well, it boils down to a pretty simple three-step process. First, just remove the excess. We're talking personal photos, knickknacks, maybe that extra armchair that makes the room feel tight. Second, clear your surfaces. Kitchen counters, bathroom vanities, tables, get them as clean and open as possible. And finally, organize the closets. Don't just cram stuff in there, you want to show buyers just how much amazing, practical storage your home really has.
Okay, the stage is set. The home is prepped and looking its best. Now, it's showtime. It's time to bring in the cameras and capture the amazing story you've just worked so hard to create.
It's such a simple phrase, but it is the absolute golden rule of real estate media. Bad lighting can make the most gorgeous home look dark, cramped, and just uninviting. The solution is pretty simple, though. Open every blind, turn on every light, and let as much natural light pour in as you possibly can. Good lighting just makes a space feel trustworthy and happy.
Professional photos are your first line of attack. This is all about capturing those crisp, dependable details. This is where a pro with a wide-angle lens is a game changer, making rooms feel so much more spacious and open. And hey, if you've got a great yard or cool property, a drone shot can be absolutely brilliant for showing off the scale of the whole place.
So, if photography is for capturing the details, video is all about creating the flow. A great walkthrough video brings a sense of movement and energy to your listing. It helps buyers really experience how the rooms connect, how you'd walk from the kitchen to the living room, then out to the backyard. It lets them feel the layout in a way that still images just can't.
Okay, now we're going to get into the assets that take your listing from just good to truly exceptional. These are the tools that provide that deeper, practical information and build a huge amount of confidence and trust with the potential buyer.
Let's face it, buyers are practical. They need to know if their king-size bed or their giant sectional sofa is going to fit. They want to understand the layout before they even think about scheduling a visit. A simple floor plan gives them that clarity.
It's transparent, it answers questions instantly, and it shows that you're a competent, organized seller.
And that brings us to virtual tours. Now, this is different from a video. A video is like a guided tour where you're just along for the ride. But a virtual tour, that gives the buyer control. They get to explore every corner at their own pace. They can zoom in on the tile in the bathroom. They can really get a feel for the space on their own terms. That level of control is a massive trust builder.
So, after all this work, the staging, the decluttering, the photos, videos, tours, the whole shebang, what's the result? What's the bottom line? Let's connect all of these efforts directly to the payoff.
This is really how it all connects. Your hard work staging and decluttering, that creates an emotional connection, making buyers feel at home. Investing in pro photos and video, that makes you look like a competent and dedicated seller, which creates higher appeal. And providing those floor plans and virtual tours, that builds trust and shows you're transparent, which leads directly to faster, more confident offers.
At the end of the day, every single step we've covered works together. A media-rich launch is not just another expense. It's a real investment that absolutely pays for itself through higher appeal, quicker offers, and most importantly, a stronger final sales price.
And I guess that's the question to leave you with. When you put in the work up front to create a really compelling online story, you're not just selling a property anymore, you're marketing a future home in the most powerful way you can. So, is your home ready?